All right. Good evening and welcome. KNKX and All Blues present a special virtual concert with Cary, Morin. I'm your All Blues host, John Kessler. Happy to be with you. And for the next 45 minutes or so, we'll hang out with Cary and hear some of his music, including some songs from his new album, Dockside Saints. After we hear a couple of tunes, I'll chat with Cary, and you'll also have a chance to ask your questions. Please do that from your Zoom chat window. And the show is being recorded. We'll post it as soon as possible after we finish. Well, Cary Morin is simply one of the finest guitarists I've ever heard, and that's really no lie. He carries on a Piedmont style of blues, an intricate guitar style pioneered by people like Gary Davis and Mississippi John Hurt, later by people like Leo Kottke. He's also a master storyteller and a really soulful singer. His 2017 album, Cradle to the Grave, was on my top 10 list for that year, and his music is in heavy rotation on KNKX. We got to know Cary and Celeste and their dog Zeus when they stopped by KNKX in 2018 for a live studio session. So we're very happy to visit with him again tonight. KNKX presents live from Fort Collins, Colorado, Cary Morin.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
I had to leave, yes I did. The place that I was born. I had to travel. I didn't know where I was going. I get some sleep. I gotta stand in line. I thought this rain would end. That turned out to be a lie. I just wanna be somebody, not just a number or a name. Got to find me some money, get out from under this pain. I see the people around me do the things that they do. Somebody, be somebody, be somebody too. Folks like me, we ain't got nobody. Nobody to blame. Got no means, I got no way. One day I climbed stairs of eternal night. That would not be too soon, my brother. Make everything alright. Everything gonna be alright. I see the people all around me do the things that they do. It's time I got to be somebody, be somebody, be somebody. I had to leave the place that I was born. I had to travel. I didn't know where I was going. Didn't know where I was going. Didn't know where I was going. I had to leave. I had to leave my happy home. Here's another tune from that same album. This song is called Blue Delta Home. She sings just like an angel in the night. She's just right for me. When she is not within my sight, I don't wanna see the light of day anymore. It comes together bigger than the two of us could ever be alone. Don't walk away, don't leave me here all alone in my blue Delta home. I think things are gonna work out right. When it's light, you'll see. There's a photograph of you in my mind I keep, where everyone can see. In any weather, I will walk to you and show you we can live a life and be together on. Don't walk away, don't leave me here all alone in my blue Delta home. You are my favorite melody. I am a witness to the light that only you can see. Don't walk away, don't leave me here all alone in my blue Delta home. In my blue Delta home.
Wow. That was great. That's Cary Morin live here on KNKX and All Blues special virtual session. Those songs that we just heard are both from his new album, Dockside Saints, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. And we want to get some of your questions as well. Please ask questions for Cary in your Zoom chat window. We'll hear some of those later on into tonight's show. Well, Cary, thanks so much for doing this. It's great to be connected with you again and with people all over the country tuned in. The new album is excellent. It really is. And you sound great tonight. And so thanks really for making time for this. So tell us about making the new album, Dockside Saints. It seems at first unlikely to combine your Piedmont guitar style with the Cajun and Zydeco rhythms of Louisiana. So I'm really interested to see. It works beautifully, and I'm just interested to see how you put those pieces together.
Well, I'm just really happy that you listened to the thing, John. And that's great. Thanks for your kind words. We had the idea to put this album together when I was out there doing some shows in Lafayette, Louisiana, and a friend of mine has really always supported our shows when we go out and play around that area. And he suggested that we go out and visit Dockside Studio, which is just outside of Lafayette in Maurice, Louisiana. And he took us out there, and while we were driving out there, he was talking about just recording there and the feel of the place. And I think he was trying to talk me into making an album. And once we got there and checked the place out, hands down, we were sold. And we happened upon another friend, Tony Daigle, at a show in Lafayette. And he said, "Man, if you're going to make an album out here, I'm your man." And he produced the album.
Yeah.
So the ball was rolling. We got a bunch of real top-notch players from around the area that are all real well known for all the things that they've done over the decades. And everybody said yes. We went out there and we booked a week and stayed there, and I wrote a couple of songs and just turned these guys loose on them. And John, we had no idea what was going to happen.
Huh.
I didn't. There's no way that I could have predicted what the album was going to sound like, and but we're just really happy with the results.
Yeah, and for those people that haven't heard it, the album has a really lush production with accordion from Corey Ledette and beautiful fiddle parts from Bo Thomas. I recognize the bass player's name, Lee Allen Zeno. He's like a hero to bass players. And it's not Cajun or Zydeco. It's kind of like a cross-cultural, pool of players that we're working with. So it's funky in a word. And it's intricate, as your acoustic music is. We've kind of carried that forward. And I've also was reading a bit where you were talking about how your Native American roots informed your journey to the Delta, to Louisiana.
Well, yeah, it does every year, actually. We have become really interested in visiting ancient mound communities when we go out there, and I just started looking into the history of that because growing up in Montana, I didn't really know anything about the people that lived in that part of the country in 1300. I just not something that came on my radar. So I started looking into it, and there was this huge culture that existed between the Great Lakes all the way down to the Delta, and all these folks would make their wares and just walk them around to all these other mound communities and trade between towns, cities, really. And they've discovered stuff in some of these mound communities that had to have come from Wyoming. So it was like, there was this whole trade route that existed way back then, and we started thinking, well, that's kind of what we do. We go around all these cities around the South, and we come from the West and drag around all these CDs that we've made over the years. So I always thought that there was some kind of a connection there. So I'm actually right now I'm working on a more in-depth story with songs to go along with that. Because John, I got nothing but time right now.
Right now. Yep. That's a curse and a blessing, I guess. I'm really glad that you were able to finish the album before the pandemic because, as we're finding out at the radio station, people are hungry for music and they're hungry for connection. So I'm really glad that that you did put it out and just at the right time. So if you would, let's hear a couple more tunes. You have a bunch of stuff you want to play for us, and I always want to hear the stories behind the tunes. Anytime you want to tell us, where these songs came from, particularly. Well, Jamie Ray, I would like to know where that came from. And then the song you're going to do, Valley of the Chiefs. Obviously, there's a story there, and I'd like to hear that sooner or later. So
Okay. All right. Well,
so, yeah, this is Cary Morin live on KNKX, a special virtual session.
thank you, John. This song, Jamie Ray, came about when we had decided to record this album in Louisiana. And I started thinking about situations and scenes, and I had an idea for a love song about a guy that is crazy about this girl, and she doesn't seem to know that he even exists. And he lives like in a neighboring town, and doesn't really have any other way to go and try and convince her otherwise, other than walking. So that's what this song is about. It's a very hopeful love song.
Muddy road I'm walking, muddy road, baby, I won't come alone. Jamie Ray, can't you hear me talking? I'm on my way, Jamie Ray, baby, you know it's true. My footprints lead to Broussard and you. I can't stop thinking of you. I'm gonna make a life for you, Jamie Ray. The sky cleared up for a bit last night. Smiling on me was your grandmother moon. She lit up my way on the road. I'm on my way, Jamie Ray. Baby, you know it's true. Don't you say what your heart wants to. I can't stop thinking of you. Gonna make a life for you, Jamie Ray. Mama says you best stay home, son. No, that girl ain't for you. Mama, I hear what you say, but I gotta get to Jamie Ray. Can't you hear me talking? Oh, babe, I hope you know it's true. My mind can only see us two. I can't stop thinking of you. I'm gonna make a life for you, Jamie Ray. Jamie Ray.
Jamie Ray. So this next tune is called Valley of the Chiefs. And this is actually a song that I developed from a story that was told during a ceremony that was given to me by my family. I'm a Crow tribal member. I grew up in Montana. And I was about probably 3 or 4 years old in the early 60s. And my great-grandmother was asked to tell a story for my naming ceremony. And at the time, my great-grandmother we're thinking she was 105-ish. So she saw a lot in her lifetime, and the story that she decided to tell was something that she recalled from when she was a teenager. And she told the story about her and a couple of her friends were out picking berries one afternoon when they were happened upon by a neighboring war party, and from a war party from a neighboring tribe. And these 5 warriors kidnapped her and her friends, and they rode by horseback for a couple of days towards the east. And they were taken away from our ancestral land, the place that we call the Valley of the Chiefs, located just south and a little east of Billings, Montana. And somewhere along the line, these girls overpowered these 5 warriors and ended up taking their horses and riding home. So she told that story in the hopes that I would grow up knowing that there are no obstacles that cannot be overcome in life. And so I've had that story with me all my life, and it's come in handy more than once, John, I'll tell you what. Anyway, here's this song. It's called Valley of the Chiefs.
I'm a grandmother now, in my 16th year. Played with friends on the prairie. If progress would allow, we'd live forever in the Valley of the Chiefs. Travel a trail in the heat of the day. Horses approaching, I thought I heard. 5 men appeared, took us away. We are the children of the long beak bird. Traveling as captives into the night, taken far from the valley. No tears were cried towards the eastern light, 'cause 5 men would die. Well, our captors slept and the night watch too. I've been surprised when we counted cool. We took their horses into the night, back to the valley of the chiefs.
Yes, yes, indeed. That's Cary Morin live on 88.5 KNKX, a special virtual studio session playing songs from his new release just out, Dockside Saints. The songs on the album sound a little bit different because Cary has some wonderful Cajun and Zydeco musicians accompanying him on with like accordion and violin, so much more textural. And so, wow, Cary, you sound amazing. uh, and we are starting to get some questions from the audience. A few different people have said, "How did you get so good? Where did you start? How did this talent get going?"
Oh, well, thank you very much. I um, I grew up in a rural area outside of Great Falls, Montana, and the music scene there was really cool. Although I was too young to get into rock shows as a little kid, but I could go see folk shows, and I could go see country shows with my folks. So I really got interested in just the music scene and piano and guitar. And my dad had Chet Atkins albums, and I listened to albums that my friends had, Leo Kottke and David Bromberg and all
Well,
the
that was
stuff.
lucky that you heard Leo Kottke early
Yeah,
on.
yeah, we
It is kind of happenstance when you're young. You hear whatever like your older brothers are listening to, or what your peer group is listening to. So yeah, and I think I read an interview. You said that you didn't even know that music had genres. It was just music. But you are, it seems like, and like myself, kind of drawn to the blues, even without realizing it. Those are just the things that maybe my musical subconscious, your musical subconscious, is drawn you towards. Because I know you've played world music, you've played reggae, you've played folk, rock, jazz, you've done all sorts of different stuff. Yet you seem to gravitate around the blues. Is there something about the blues that touches you in some different way?
yeah, I was always interested, I guess, in the not so much the subject matter of the tunes, but the groove. I listened to somehow music from New Orleans, and I don't know how that happened as a child, but the very first song that I ever played and sang was actually on piano. It wasn't guitar, and it was Blueberry Hill.
All right.
And then I just kind of gravitated towards some of the British rock that was actually blues that had made the trip to the UK and back.
Yep.
Excuse me. And anyway, the music always fascinated me, and the guitar playing always fascinated me, and the tones. The guitar tones, I was always on a quest to figure out how all these great tones happened.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that it was like a Marshall stack turned to 10 in somebody's closet. I had no way of duplicating these sounds, but I was
Right.
always trying.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, my favorite bass player for a long time, Phil Lesh, played with a pick. I didn't know that until like a few years ago. I was like, I was trying to figure out how he did all that. So we're talking with Cary Morin live. He's in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm in Seattle. This is a KNKX studio session. And, well, let's talk about our current reality and, the fact that we're doing live stream events. And I just read a piece talking about how in this pandemic we're also in the middle of kind of like a cultural depression. The arts have been basically devastated by this crisis. And why is music so important right now? Why do we need it?
Well, John, I think art in general is important. I think that we are maybe in a position where we've taken for granted that we are surrounded daily by music and images and film and sculpture and paintings, and it's getting harder and harder for artists to get their work out. We're actually learning, like in the music world, I can't speak for everybody, but I've learned different ways of keeping what I do alive. And doing shows like this and live streaming shows keeps me in the game. It keeps me playing guitar, and it keeps me singing and writing songs and thinking about, how I want to present this stuff someday again.
Yeah. So I know you've got juggling a lot of different projects. Celeste just told me that you just got the West Arts Advancing Indigenous Performance Fellowship. I'm wondering if you could talk a bit about that and how people can support that.
Well, yeah, that is another thing that we actually did a lot of long before pandemic days came along. But we've always been interested in trying to find different groups that can help fund what we do, because in order to make what I do work, we've had to pare it down from traveling with a band to me just doing solo shows, or I do shows with Celeste, or I can do shows with the band when we get home, but on the road, that's all we can really afford to do. And when we come across somebody who is interested in what I do through a grant to help us sustain what it is that we are on a quest for, basically, and if we can come across funding like that, then it also sparks ideas that I couldn't afford before. I will pursue ideas that I just didn't have the money to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm really honored to have received that fellowship, and that's actually what I've been doing this week, is attending a conference. We're supposed to be in San Diego at that conference for that particular foundation. Uh-huh. So I've been telling people, well, I gotta go to San Diego today, but tonight I gotta be in Seattle because I gotta do this show for my friends at KNKX. So it's been an interesting week, and we'll continue on with that conference this coming week as well.
Okay, so and then your website is carymorin.com, and obviously buying your album is one very significant way that people can support you. So I encourage everyone to do that. Cary has several excellent albums out, and you won't be disappointed. So, we got time to hear a couple more tunes, and I'd love to hear you tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, well, I'll play a tune here. This is called "Exception to the Rule," okay. And I didn't write this song specifically for this album. It was previously written, and I recorded a solo version of it. But I knew that when we went to Lafayette, that there was going to be all these fantastic players, and I was just wondering what they would do with this particular song, and if you can, listen to it on the album. You can go to my website and listen to it there if you want. All the songs are there, or you can look up docksidesaints.com too. They're all there. And anyway, this is how I do it when it's just me and a guitar, and I'm sitting around in the living room with John.
reception to the room. It's impossible to tell at this early time. You never question what we have. It's something, baby, we just can't hide. Maybe I do it all wrong. Everything is better next to you. I wanna thank you always for doing everything just right. You know I'm not that easy to be around. Baby, help me to see the light. Well, there's so much time for us to live. Everything is better next to you. Everything is better when I'm next to you. You make me what I am. What I am is next to new. Where the wind is changing everything we've made. I feel the work has been hard enough. I think I'm ready to get paid. Am I the weight on your shoulders? The breeze in your sails. Everything is better next to you. Everything is better next to you. Everything is better. Everything is better next to you.
I think I got time for one more song, eh?
I think so too.
All right. Well, this song is called Carmela Marie, and it wasn't on this Dockside Saints album. But I've been playing this with Celeste lately, and I just really like it. It was on a previous recording.
Well, if nothing else, you're sure of yourself. I could only hope to be. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. Always get what you ask for. Now I got it coming to me. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. I come face to face with the lioness. She's an overachiever, exceeds to excess. Hope to be with her for the rest of my days. Well, I love my baby in every way. Well, if nothing else, you're sure of yourself. I could only hope to be. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. what you asked for. Now gotta come unto me. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. Well, I'll always be with her, she confesses. She got the knee-high boots and the Levi dresses. A love of the highest quality. But don't be gone too long, baby, come back to me. Nothing else, you're sure of yourself. I got no hope to be. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. You always get what you ask for. Now I gotta come unto me. Come on down to my place, Carmela Marie. Come on down, baby, Carmela Marie. Come on down, mama, Carmela Marie.
There's that one.
Oh man, what a treat. What a treat. That's Cary Morin performing live in a special KNKX virtual session. I really feel like I'm sitting in your living room with you. It's you're so welcoming. I mean, your music is so beautiful. Cary Morin. I hope we get to see you in person someday soon.
We always love coming to Seattle, and we'll definitely drop by.
And at the Port Townsend Acoustic Workshop, we'd love to see you up there. So hopefully that'll happen next year. And thanks to you at home for listening and watching. You've been watching a special live stream show from KNKX and All Blues. The show was recorded, and we hope to have it available as soon as possible. You can check the All Blues page at knkx.org and the All Blues fan site at Facebook. Now you can watch the slideshow afterwards to get info on how to get Cary's new album, Dockside Saints, and you can also support him on PayPal. So please support your musicians, and that's one of the best ways to do it is to buy their music, and he's got some great albums. I want to thank our tech crew tonight. Justin Parker is our director with support from Adrian Florence, Parker Blome, and Aaron Hennessy. Brenda Goldstein is our promotions director and spiritual advisor. Thanks also to Celeste Morin and Zeus, the Shih Tzu dog. Yeah. Also thanks to the Shack Arts Center for their support. We've got more KNKX virtual music events coming up. Live stream studio session with the Mark Seals Group from the Forum at Town Hall November 14th, and our first virtual holiday jam on December 4th. So stay tuned for more details in the coming weeks. I am your host, John Kessler. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Join me for All Blues on 88.5 Saturdays and Sundays from 6 to midnight. And thank you again and again to Cary Morin. And thanks to you for watching this special live show from 88.5 KNKX. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye, Cary.